Hi, everyone, and welcome back. And thank you for joining us again here on EyeOpener Society. It means a lot, means the world, for everybody that jumps on here, whether it be for the first time or whether it's, you're a long time listener. It's much appreciated. And I certainly do appreciate everybody that listens. It really helps us out. And, we take the stand here at EyeOpener Society that we simply don't do any advertising or anything like that. We don't monetize. We do it just strictly for the fun of it. Now, this here episode is going to be a little bit more different than what I've been used to. I know I made a promise a while back that try to be more positive, which I'm going to be. However, this is going to be the angry episode because there's certain things that are really drawing energy away from good people, whether it be me, whether it be Jennifer Miller, or you, the listener. I know a lot of people are going to kind of relate to this. And it's going to be a little bit of a more powerful episode because, we don't hold back on this show. So, myself and Jennifer, we're both going to kind of get into this a little bit. So, introducing to you again, Jennifer Miller. Jennifer, always great to have you
Hi.
on my side.
Hi.
We,
Oh,
yeah,
go
we,
ahead.
yeah, we spoke again. We always spoke, or we always speak in detail off, the podcast. And a lot of our conversations spark a lot of interest in what I would like to put on Eye Opener Society. And
Mm.
your intuition level was up a lot, and you just out of the blue asked me if I was okay. And I was like cowering in a corner somewhere, you know,
Oh,
just
sure.
trying to shut the world out and it wasn't like a cry for help, but it's just what I'm feeling. I think many people are feeling. It doesn't matter what you do, no matter how much you play by the rules or, there's someone out to get you. There's someone with their hands in your pockets. A lot of this has to do with financial stuff. A lot has to do with the government,
Mm.
being the biggest mafia that there is. And so I think, Jennifer, you picked up on it and you hit some points about this, how, spiritual people are being hit the hardest on this because it just doesn't seem like there's any exit to it.
Well, yeah, because like I said, like the negativity in the air. Like you walk somewhere, it's not easy to talk to somebody. It's not, like it used to be. Like I remember pre-2020, you could be in the grocery store and just bump into someone like, oh, hey, giggle about it and say, you know, have a good day, or you'll talk about something because you're like little kids running around, and it was just easier. Now you bump into someone, I'm about half scared they're gonna like freak out, panic, and start hitting me with their cart, or, it'd be like some type of bad sitcom that you saw in the 90s where people were kind of acting aggressive, but it wasn't the same. It just you can feel it in the air. It's like you could cut it with a knife, like the tension, the resentment, anger, and, it's affecting a lot of people, just everyday people.
Yeah, it's hard. I struggled last few years to clean up all my debt and I took care of it. And, you're sitting here saying, "Ooh, what a good citizen I am." And, I'm doing the right thing and I got everything cleaned up. And then within a month, through no fault of your own, it's not like I'm going out and buying fancy cars or anything. So much hits you so much that you find yourself automatically in debt by like almost $30,000. Oh, within a month. And $30,000 now, right now, doesn't seem like a whole lot of money
Mhm.
comparatively from years before, but that's a shitload of money that is coming out of my pocket. And a lot of it isn't even so much expenditures, it's just things I had to get. Um,
Necessity.
yeah, necessities. And then the rest of it is fucking taxes. I sat down and I did my taxes, and as most people know, I work, 2 jobs. I have one small part-time job. I barely pick up any hours, but I just do it every now and then to, just supplement my income. When I plugged those numbers in, it threw my federal taxes over. And if people, you talk to tax people, say, well, if you have a second job, that's the one you set at the highest tax rate and let that take all the taxes out. And I'm like, well, what fucking sense does that make? If I'm working to make more money for myself, why am I setting it up to give the government more money?
I know, I'm sitting here waiting for you to make it make sense right now.
Yeah, and it
I was
doesn't.
like,
It
"Wait,
does
where's
not.
the end of this? Like, go." And then you're telling me this, and I'm like, "Oh, wait, there isn't I don't see the benefit in it
Mhm,
at all." I mean, like, I would say your time's more precious than that second job and the money, if that makes sense.
mhm.
And, yeah, they shouldn't be taking all of that out,
Yeah. Eh,
especially if it's a second job. I mean,
well, that's only a small part of it because
a
then I
lot of
go into the
time.
rest of the stuff that I had to I withdrew from my previous job from the 401k. This way I could set it up because I don't trust the government to set up my money for my future.
Mm,
Forget it. I wanna set it up for my future. So once you pull it out, they'll take out the federal taxes, but they don't take out the local taxes or the state taxes. So now I gotta pay against that, and that's a fuck ton of money, you know?
yeah, it does add up.
Yeah, a lot. It really, really ends up being a lot of money, and it's one of those things now, if you don't pay it, hey, you go to jail or we garnish your wages, whatever the case may be. This is exactly like the mafia. But we sat and we spoke about this, and this is something that we're basically saying, "Fuck you as a human being." We
Yeah,
had
like your
this
rights in your
conversation.
life, yeah.
Mhm. They
You don't
control.
have a right to keep your money, you don't have a right to, do this or that. Yeah, I mean, right. So they're allowing us to have things, not actually, like, us actually essentially owning or you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, we
I
own
mean,
nothing. Own nothing. You could buy a car, pay taxes on it. You move to
with
a
tax
different
money,
state, yeah, with tax money. And you move to another state, and usually the first thing they wanna do is when you go to register the car, they want you to pay taxes on the car that you've already paid, even if you paid it off. Now you gotta pay
right?
taxes on it. It's listen, most people understand this, and most people are angry about it, but the question is, why in the fuck do we as human beings accept this?
Social contract. We live by a set of rules that just it's kinda, like, ingrained into us. You behave, you follow the cookie cutter in life, and, you know, if you don't, you're seen as crazy, you know, definitely crazy. That's the best way I can put it. People see you that way if you don't think in a certain box. It's kinda hard. It's
Mm.
kinda hard to live like that. Stressful.
It is. It takes a lot out of us. And again, and I always say it, and I will keep saying it. We are the dumbest species on this, planet.
Yeah, we don't deserve to go on.
You know,
No.
I agree with that. The more I sit and I look at it, I say, because we just accept all of this. We accept it. And then we'll sit and we'll talk about it. Oh, this shouldn't be, this shouldn't be, this shouldn't be. And then some new wave of government comes in and saying, okay, well, we're going to take care of all this. We're going to stop it. And then everybody's against that. Where does it end? Where does the solution come from?
I
That's what my
honestly,
problem is.
I I don't know. I mean, that's why I like living out in the middle of nowhere in the sticks, cause like, Mother Nature is not this complicated. You look at me sideways, I'm gonna eat ya. Basi
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
It's not so complicated just to live, but the man-made rules make it that way, and honestly, like, you as your person, you have your essence, you have your spirituality, and that can, like, drain on that, like, that can pull it down because, once you start getting in that death spiral of, like, hopelessness, you know what I mean? You just start seeing everything else in your life going wrong, like, I've been there and things have, like, sometimes just come down all at once, you have all these bills, you have family members that might be sick, you have friends that might have problems and be sick, or, you might not be able to pay the bill, and so you're worrying about that, so I mean, you have all this stuff just pulling at you, and sometimes your spirituality and your essence and, like, your ability to say no to something or to not really care goes low on that totem pole, just low. It's like on the back burner, afterthought, like, "Oh, well, I'll deal with it later. I gotta sleep, I'll deal with it later," you know? "I gotta go to work, I'll deal with it later." It's tolling.
It certainly is. And I think
Sorry, I'm ranting.
no, I mean, that's what this whole episode really is. But it shouldn't just be ranting. It should be actual solutions because, like I said, we are not political. And I don't speak political. So I'm not going to make a political issue out of this. But when
Oh,
we
yeah.
look and when we sit, again, as human beings in our own homes, we're so free to speak where we say, "Oh, this is wrong. We shouldn't be paying all these taxes. We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be doing that." And like I said, then if we get somebody in the government that says, "We're gonna take this fucking government apart and we're gonna shrink it down to make it more manageable to hopefully make life easier," then everybody all of a sudden has a problem with that. You either are for or against a cause. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, "Well, I don't like a person." You know, I I see the entire government. I see, I don't care who the politician is. I see flaws in all of them. But I said, What do we want? Do we want more government? Do we want more taken from us? Do we want more freedoms taken from us or not?" I again, and the hardest thing, regardless of with the political party, the problem is too damn separated. We're on one side of the color or the other color. And I'll tell you what, whoever's in charge has to satisfy both, not just one half. We need to all come together and understand, okay, this is the way we're going to try things. We, the people, are the government, and we can make changes ourselves. And we need to start doing something. But the damn thing is, we're too damn fat and lazy. We're too damn stupid, and we allow everything to happen.
We're divided right now, if you haven't noticed. I mean, like, I don't like talking politics, but we are divided. It's like men versus women. If you got online, you see these guys blaming women, you see these women blaming guys, and no one really wants to work with each other. They just keep wanting to put each other down, so they're like more superior, I've noticed. And I don't think anyone is. Like, get off your high horse. We both need each other. Shut the fuck up. Excuse my French. And like let's work together. Let's get some shit going in a common sense kind of way. Um you see that a lot. Um you see people, having a lot of struggles too. I mean,
Mhm.
so and some people think that, it's like the hardship Olympics. They got to be the hardship Olympics. Um it's just there's a lot of division. I mean, that's why people aren't rising up to, like, say, like, "No, like, you work for us, like, you're the government, you work for us, the people, not the other way around." But I feel like that's been lost, essentially. Like, we don't fight, like, with how we want things, like, we don't do it. If we do, we don't do it in a debate style, we do it in an aggressive,
Yeah.
extremist kind of way, and
Yeah. And I think
it's
that's
kind
all
of
by
scary.
design. I think it's
Oh,
all by
yeah.
design. It's a way to say, "Hey, we don't want the people to rise up," you know? So they put this whole thing, this grand division right through the media that fuels it, and we get to this point. And
Mm.
I think a lot of us are getting more pissed off because some of us might be realizing that, and they say, "Oh, well, we're too far deep now, and we just gotta keep going along with this." And it's not
Yeah.
right. I said what I wanna do, much like you living out in the sticks. I told you the other night, all I wanna do is go out to a forest, dig a deep enough hole, set it up so I can live on the ground, and just completely shut myself off from
Hobbit
society.
Gary. Sorry. As soon as you said stick a hole in the ground, like, I was like, "Oh, like a hobbit." I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that's exactly where my mind went.
That's fine. I would much rather live like a hobbit at this point. I don't wanna live on society's norms, like, with money and all this. I just wanna live
Like barter.
like a
I wish
human
we
being.
had barter systems still.
Right. Yes. Simpler, much simpler.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
and or just the act of giving when there is nothing to give. I It's a simpler,
yeah.
kinder life, but it's so easy to achieve if every single person, less I would say maybe 13% of the population is just too evil to understand, but I think the rest would be on board with it, you know?
Sorry, I had to laugh that you're like, "Maybe 13% evil," you know, evil. No, uh, but yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I do. Um,
we
yeah.
also we also spoke about too, just again, just how disgusting we are as human beings. It's like we were disposable
Mm.
unless we have something to give, you know?
Oh,
Sicknesses, why are we paying to be sick? Why are we paying for accidents that just happen? You know, whether it be a natural accident or, you know, oops, I messed up kind of accident. Again, insurance companies, you know, would pay them so that in the end, if something happens, they pay out. Then they don't. And so it's like, so why the fuck did I give you all this money for the entire year and you're not going to pay out? It makes
oh,
no
like
sense.
California backing out, paying
Yes.
all their yeah, that is
Hmm.
disgusting.
Yeah,
I mean, that really is disgusting. I don't even know what else to say, but that makes us shitty humans. Yeah, right
it
there.
does.
Letting people go without shelter, an
Hmm.
actual home,
Yeah,
like, that's disgusting.
right.
That's real
We
bad behavior and just yeah, no. Mm-mm.
food, shelter, clothing. Why do we pay for it? Why are we the only species that are paying for it? And
Right?
then, like I said, even just getting sick, you know, a simple
Mhm.
thing that happens. Why then are we looked at, you know, as, you know, like we're doing something wrong? And then everybody's got their hands in your pockets. And then as soon as you run out of that jingle jingle, you're pushed to the side medically. I'm not gonna call you out or force you to talk about this, but it bothers me that you were in a situation like this, and through absolutely 0 fault of your own, you get sick, and what do you get out of it? What help do you actually get from it? Because
Oh my god.
speaking about what you had, I mentioned, I said, "We got advertising in your face every time you click a link. It's another erection pill. Oh, we 'cause it generates money." But what about cancer? Where's the medicines for that? Where's the help for that? Where's the advertising for that? And there you're looking at the 2 sides because the dick pills are bringing in money, and so is a cancer patient. A cured cancer patient's not gonna bring in any money.
Right. It's not. You know, as someone who's gone through it, it's I mean, it's traumatic to know that your life just means the dollar sign, like, "Fuck you," you know, "If you can't pay for this, you can't live," you know?
Mhm.
I mean, I went into debt, like, I don't even know I have debt.
Yeah.
Um, but I actually need to figure out how much because there's a good bunch. I still keep getting tax bills from, like, 2017.
Mm.
I mean
Eh,
ooh, yes, I was, you know, getting chemo. I wasn't going over to go pay the local tax collector. Um, you know, I really don't know how I got out of it, like, it was a really dark time. I really didn't act in a way that was at all good, and, I to me, it's even a mystery. I'm not I have no clue. I have no clue. I mean, my kids, I mean, the fact that, you know, I had to get up every day, you know, get one of them off to school, or if I was pregnant, like, you know, because I got pregnant right after I had cancer. I mean, very shortly, like, in a non you know, I shoulda waited kinda way. Um, so, I mean, it gave me something, you know, like a schedule just to, like, work myself out of, like, maybe a funk of depression. Financially, though, I'm definitely not out of that hole, like, not at all.
and yet people choose to go to school, choose to go to colleges, choose to fill out all the forms for them to get the money, and then they're forgiven to not pay back that money. But then you have people that went through cancer, and you got all these medical bills,
On
and
top of
nobody's
student loan.
sitting there. Yeah, no one's sitting there saying, "Hey, we'll pay for that."
Yeah, 'cause I graduated, like, 2 days before I found out I had cancer, so, I mean, I didn't go to the graduation because I wasn't feeling good, and, it took a long time, and then by the time I actually, like, was able to go, I just decided you know, it's a whole mess.
Yeah, and but
It's hard to find a job around here in
mm,
that degree,
right,
so it's
yeah.
it's it's really hard.
Yeah, and I get that, and there's the other problem, like, we can't find jobs, we can't make affordable wages. Like I said, you work 2 jobs, it does shit, it barely keeps a roof over your head, you're taxed to death, so if you go out and get a 3rd job, you're gonna be taxed even more. Where does it
Mm.
end?
How would you
where
even get
is
a third job? When would you have time to sleep or
sleep?
rest? Because that's dangerous too. Like, if you are not, not sleeping, you're gonna end up like probably causing more damage of some sort. Someone will come around and want to sue you. So I
Mhm.
mean, like, 3 jobs, you're gonna need. It's like there's no work-life balance,
Right.
like at all. There really isn't. And you
Exactly.
have to make sacrifices, like, am I gonna, like, just, wear ratty, holey clothes so I can have some food, or am I going to buy some clothes and I can't eat? Or am I gonna have electricity and no food, you know?
Mhm.
Just kind of yeah,
Making your decisions based upon
right.
who we're living. I did not want this, like I said, to be a negative show, but I know, and I know the audience out there, there's at least all of you are going through some sort of issue that, relates to all of this. And there's no easy fix at this point because we allowed it to happen for way too long. We constantly let the system slip up, and then everybody's out there battling when the system's trying to, get fixed in probably a very aggressive way. But again, that's us. We allowed it to happen, and we need to figure out how to pull ourselves out. I don't mind banding together with like-minded people and helping each other out. You give what you can and, you get back what you can, but that's only gonna last for so long. So if everybody wants to, go out to the forest with me, bring some shovels, we'll dig a nice deep hole in the ground. We'll all live there. It's, you know that's what I would like. I mean, my life has been turned upside down in the last, 3 months. I keep talking about it, and I don't wanna harp on it all the time, but it's
It's a
that
lot, though.
it
It's
it
it's a lot.
it's a lot, and it doesn't and like I said, it's I'm doing the right thing. I'm
You
going out
are, you're
there.
in the right direction.
Yeah, and it's not so much hurdles. These are things that shouldn't even be in the way, you know? The cost of
The
everything
wild
going
card.
up. Yeah, the taxes, hands in your pocket saying, "Oh, look, this person's doing better. Let's go ahead and go there and grab something from them, take away something that they need to achieve," And that's what's going on. I think that's what's going on with a lot of us. And at some point, it's gotta stop. At some point, we have to talk about it, and we have to release that energy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is though, once you release it, you still have to go back out into public and you start collecting more and more energy. I mean, the more I go out in public, sometimes I come back and it's like been a good experience. Sometimes I come back home and it's just been I need to stay away from people for like at least 3 days because it was just whew, it was not good energy. It was bad experience, very stressful and sometimes you don't have the option to do that, so, yeah, even if you get the energy out, it's still gonna be there, so, yeah, getting out and talking about it is the way to go. I mean, we have to.
Mhm. Get yourselves a
Let
platform.
people know they're not alone. Oops,
Mhm.
sorry.
No, you're fine, you're fine. I mean, people do need to get a platform. Most people do. But I think a lot of people, again, and I spoke about it, I don't wanna repeat myself from other podcasts, but there's a lot of people that are just complaining about the wrong things. I think we need to complain about things that affect everybody, not just what's affecting you or the way you want something to be. Because we've spoken about that too, especially with religions and everything else, where it's either my way or no way. We need to do more where it's a collective for everybody.
Right. And I think if people are able to have that and just be able to be themselves and, like, have the essence of themselves, I think people would honestly things would start clearing up negative-wise. So, like, yeah, I don't think that, it should uh, religion should be for yourself. Spirituality should be for yourself. You should not be pushing it out onto others. Like, it is for yourself to bring you peace, right? It's to
Right.
make yourself feel at ease, to be at peace, to be happy, to have, that relationship with your spirituality, religion, or whatever, that is for yourself. Like, I
Mm.
just
Yeah, it's
have
for you. And it
Mhm.
should not be forced out. And even with this show, I mean, we are kind of more of a spiritual, metaphysical kind of show, but I always make the disclaimer: we don't push it down anybody's, throats. You come here and you join us if you wish to. I don't go out there and tell you you have to listen to us, and this is the way and the only way. I don't want to operate like that. I push what I believe, and I give you that option to take it and do what you want with it. And like I say, if it's not your thing, I don't fault you for not wanting to listen to the show. You know,
Right, but then you have, like, that social contract, right, where people are supposed to be civil and respectful of that, right? I have noticed a steep it's gone low on the totem pole, like, tolerance, no being civil, no like, everybody is very extremist, it seems, and it also makes me kinda scared to, like, speak my mind about it because I'm like, "Man, I'm gonna have to deal with someone trying to jump down my throat. I might have to, like, say rude things to get a point across," and it's just like, it's icky. I don't wanna go there. But I'm not also gonna let somebody talk to me and disrespect me or, be condescending.
mhm.
Because I mean, I still have some self-respect for myself. I mean,
You should.
self-esteem might be low, but I have some self-respect, enough to be like, "Yeah, no, just we don't get along, we don't agree, that's okay." But it does seem that's where I'm saying, like, you feel that aggression and tension when you walk right out in the atmosphere with people, like, you're scared to talk to them about anything because of the way things are going right now with everything, whatever side you're on or not on or don't agree with, you know?
It's all equally bad, and that's what I think the point is we're just trying to make, and I hope people can pull out of this. I wish the best for everyone. I wish everybody can be in a good situation, and technically, as humans, we should be, but we just don't allow that. We're always looking at harming somebody or doing bad or just making somebody else's life difficult, and it should not be. But I thank you for joining in and tuning in, and I hope you have your thoughts, your ideas on all this. Maybe you have a fix, maybe you have the cure all. Release it to the world, get a platform and get it out there. And if you don't feel like you have the end all be all answer, maybe you have tips, tricks, hacks, or whatever it may be. Share it with everyone. That's what we're here for as human beings. This episode definitely, like I said, I know has been a little bit more intense than most, but we'll go back to our normal selves, maybe, because you never know what's going to happen day to day. But I thank you, Jennifer Miller, for joining
Yeah,
me.
no.
I thank the audience for tuning in and joining. You guys are the best. EyeOpener Society is always here. Tune in for Elaine's Arcane Oracle podcast and Lund's Haunted and Waiting, Sunset Child's Out There podcast. We have it all. You can find us on eyeopenersociety.podbean.com or any platform, including YouTube. And we will see you on the next episode.